How you doing, man? You doing all right? You look a little beat down. Look a little
No, man. I don't look
look a
beat
little
down.
a
I'm
little
beat up.
tired. Look a little
I'm beat up.
you're beat up. Did you get beat up?
No, I don't because I don't. I'm not down. I'm an optimist. I'm up.
You're up.
I'm up.
You're
Yeah,
you're
I'm
beat
up.
up. Oh, instead of getting beat down. I gotcha. That makes
Yeah,
sense. All
yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah.
I
Yeah,
I
man.
just got it.
I'm
I
beat
just
up.
got it.
Yeah, you're pretty slow. That was bad. We probably should work through the jokes and the metaphors and the analogies and all the things before we hit record, so I can explain them all to you. If there's anything that we need to read, I should probably read it to you beforehand. Like all these things are important for us. They're very important for us.
Hey,
But
we're still learning.
hey, we're still learning. We're still going. And I'll tell you, real talk. We've been talking about this quite a bit. I don't think it's unique to us. I think anybody who starts something that they believe in or does something they believe in and has to kind of grow it from scratch probably has had some similar experiences. Anybody's grown a business, some similar experiences. I mean, I even think back to like when we were just purely doing real estate. I say purely, we were in the Navy active duty and then doing real estate. And we sometimes forget about like all the times we lost money, right? Like our investors, we by the grace of God, they never lost money. They always made money, but we personally lost money. But yeah, we kept going, right? And we kind of forget about those. Like I remember some conversations that when I think about it, like you and I had some conversations like, dude, what are we gonna do?
Yeah.
What are we? How are we gonna even make this happen, right? Um, and I'll tell you, we've been there kind of recently with the Kinetic Man in just trying to figure out how to make this business and make it into a business and to grow it and to make it as impactful as possible, to add as much value as we possibly can to to the men in our lives. And it can be discouraging, dude. It can be discouraging. Sometimes I'm not gonna lie, like, and this is relatively common for me. But sometimes like I'll like get in a rut and just be like, oh, like I'll just have thoughts of I'll just quit. I'm gonna do something else. I'm gonna, like I have those negative thoughts. I can get to that place and it can be downright discouraging sometimes being a small business owner.
Yeah, man. For sure. I think 2023 was challenging. Um in a lot of different ways for us. I think you and I and Steven are really excited about about the mission, about the purpose of all things Kinetic Man. But like you said, like running a small business is hard, and what we're finding is running a small business with three people, all like owners, co-founders, with they're all different, right? We all think differently. We all act differently. We all have unique traits and personalities. Not always have the same, thinking and mindset and the way that we want to do things. And there's been plenty of butting heads this year and differences of opinions. Um, there's been plenty of wins, but there's also been a lot of losses. We've tried to pivot quite a few times this year. We tried to make some changes, and we think that the changes are for the good, but um, you know, then you kind of get knocked down, and um, so there's like you said, there's days where you don't really feel like getting up. Um, so I guess the question is like, what do we do about that? Like on the days that you get knocked down, like how do we keep on going? How do we keep on
Suck it up, Buttercup. That's what you do. You suck it
sucking?
up, Buttercup. No, I'm just kidding. No, I think there's a couple things that we do pretty well. One, you acknowledge it. Like you acknowledge it, right? You might as well be forthright about what's going on, and then you get it out in the open, right? And that's one of the things we I talked to, and what keeps me going is like this conversation. I had a conversation with a guy from our group recently, and one of the things that we kind of concluded the conversation by saying we are talking pretty deep stuff about marriage and life and God's will and all kinds of, just light topics. And where we left it was, man, there's a lot of things that if you leave them in the dark, they're very powerful, right? And they just fester and they grow. But what's interesting is when you shine light on them, they're usually not that big. Maybe they cast a big shadow, but the thing itself is not that big. And you're surely not alone in it. That's a guarantee. So when we got off that call, it was like, oh, it's really interesting, man. Like just by having the conversation, you shine light on it, and it loses a lot of its power, right? Like, I mean, you talk about like real stuff, like a dude, guys out there who struggle with porn. I guarantee you, if you get a brother that you can talk to, and when you're in that struggle and you shine light on it, you pick up the phone, you're like, hey, dude, I'm struggling. As soon as you do that, it's like, I don't even know I was struggling with that. Like in that moment, right? It's not going to just go away forever, but in that moment, dude, like you're an alcoholic, man. I just want to drink. Where is that going to be most powerful? When you're with a buddy who's got your back, or when you're by yourself? Like when you're by yourself, that's how all these things work. And so when you shine a light on it, it really weakens the power and the grip of that thing, whatever that thing is. And so for me, the act of doing that together, it really pushes me forward. But in all the conversations I've had and all the men I've seen shine lights in the dark corners of their lives because of the kinetic man, that's what keeps me going. Every time a dude turns on a flashlight and shines a light on that dark object in his life with a group of men, oftentimes a light that he's never turned on in a corner that he's never looked at, that he does it with a group of dudes, and you can see the change in his life, that's what keeps me going. Because it's real and it happens all the time. And dudes leave these calls like, huh, I'm not alone. I'm not alone in this world. And my struggle is also, I'm not that big of a butterfly, dude. Like, I'm not that big of a unicorn. Like, a lot of dudes can relate with me, and thank God for that. Right. Thank God for that. And thank God I have a tribe and a crew that I can do this life with.
That's good, man. Something we did just recently, the three of you, me, and Steven, it was earlier this week. We were kind of doing like a 2023 wrap up for the business and coming up with some, you know, ideas and ways to move forward. We had some, this is real talk. So like we had some members leave, and that was hard to see happen, and that challenges the cash flow of the business. And from a business perspective, that's tough. It seems like we'd have two steps forward and then at least one step back, and maybe sometimes three steps back. But the first thing we did, and this was Steven's idea, is all three of us, he brought up like this virtual whiteboard, and he's like, all right, every single one of us write three things that we're grateful for this business, and slap them on the virtual whiteboard with sticky notes. And then the three of us went through that, went through what we're grateful for our business and for each other. And starting with that was like really, really powerful for me, just to see where we've come. The daily grind and the hustle and the minutia, when you get into all the details, and you get slapped across the face with a hit to the business, like that could be tough. But if you take a step back and like look back on the year, and really dive deep into like what has happened, and all the good that has come, and all the positive results of these men, like there's been some major breakthroughs and some major changes in men's lives this year, for the positive, like life changing, life impacting change. And so you look at that kind of stuff, and you look at how you and I and Stephen have changed, for our own, betterment, and doing that gratitude practice. It was really good for me.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's we talk about it all the time, and today just happens to be we're recording on a Thursday, and it resonated with me. I've been distracted with a sick kid all day, but I didn't do my thankful Thursday, right? And even like stuff like that, the gratitude piece of it. Even, you highlight that very specific thing we did, or Stephen walked us through in that meeting in the midst of being somewhat discouraged. But what's interesting to me is that that element, that was this year. That was a huge change for, I think, all of us this year, was the intentionality of gratitude, the
Yeah.
intentionality of doing an exercise to be very, very specific in your Thanksgiving and to acknowledge the things that are going great. Because more of us, we just need to do that more, period. We just need to do that more. We need to be more. If there's any takeaway from, this episode as well, it's very easy, especially in the challenge of a small business. But I mean, the challenge of being in the military, the challenge of being in a big business, the challenge of being an employee for, and working for a manager that is maybe you don't see eye to eye. Like, there's so many challenges. Everybody faces them every single day. The one thing that we could all do, though, is you can take stock of all the things that you're blessed with and that you're grateful for. And everybody can find something to be grateful for. And that starts a very powerful habit to be able to face some of these challenges, whether it's a small business, it's your marriage, whatever it is, your friendship, this perpetual looking and longing for a quality best friend. Like, all these things are very real. But in the midst of that, you can express gratitude and you can be thankful, and that can empower you to continue on, like in our case, with something that we believe God put on our hearts as a mission for us to build a community of men. Like, we believe that with all our hearts. And
Yeah.
so the gratitude part of that enables us to get up every morning and continue to do it, despite people leaving, and celebrating people that come, and celebrating all the changes that they experience in their lives and their family, their lives of their family, and in the lives of their businesses, which are all profound, and amen to that, right?
Yeah, for sure, man. I think the point of this podcast is it's titled Real Talk. And um, I think a lot of times someone in our space, in the podcasting world, or big and posted on social media, and everyone sees all the the good, shiny, fluffy stuff, right? But you know we're human too, right? And like, there's challenges in our lives too, not only in the business, but like personally too. Like, I had some challenges this year as a dad, right? I had some challenges this year as a son. I had some challenges this year as a husband. It is, I can find gratitude in that, learn from it, become better for it. And I have a tribe of men that can pick me up and say, yeah, me too, and give me some advice and help and push me to be better in those arenas. So um yeah, I think action steps out of this, leaving 2023 and getting into 2024. If this resonates with you, if you're hurting, if you have some struggles, and if you have some challenges, Goody, like, what do we say to the men that's listening to this, and they say, like, yeah, this is me.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully there's a little bit of hope that you can gain from this conversation, right? But I would honestly say, do exactly what we're talking about, and shine a light on it. Shine a light on it. The best way to do that is with one of your homies, right? Like, get somebody. If you don't have, you want to talk about a powerful action item that can be the stepping stone for starting a business. That could be the stepping stone for all kinds of change in your life. You want to take an action, take a friend assessment. Do you have, like, that dude in your life that you could pick up the phone about anything and hit him up? Do you have that in your life right now? If the answer is, if you can't immediately think of a name, then do something about that. And it may take some courage, man. Like, find a guy, and the first guy, it's like dating. The first guy might not be the right guy. You might not be the guy you're going to marry, but at least get into the habit of telling the people in your life, hey man, like, you're important. I think you're a cool dude. I'd love to hang out with you. Just see what happens, right? Just see what happens. Take that step. And if that can be the person that you can go to, and look, I'll be honest, if you don't have that, I'm happy to be that guy temporarily. And I say that, and it's and we kind of smile. A dude took me up on that offer this year. A dude hit me up on LinkedIn. Something I'd said about something. I put my number. He hit me up, and he shared a big challenge he was having in his life, and it was meaningful for both of us, but it gave him an outlet that he didn't have before. And he said that. He's like, dude, this is kind of weird, whatever. And I'm like, dude, I'm here to listen to you. And he like spit, like he shared. And I was like, dude, I appreciate your courage for like, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's
Can't
freaking
believe you
awesome.
did that. Can't believe you did that. Good on you. And I'm not here to give you advice. And I told him, I was honest, right? I was like, hey, I'm not your guy like forever. I'm happy to be your guy right now. You need to find your guy. You need to find your guy. And I don't know if he found a guy yet, but I was able to be that guy. And I didn't help him. It just helps to open up and be like, dude, this sucks. Yeah, man, I feel you. It does. Oh wow, I feel a lot better. Yeah, I didn't solve anything for you. You just talked about it.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Take action to just reach out to somebody, man. Get a friend. Get a friend. Man out there, get a friend. It'll change your life. Unless it's Stu. And that'll change your life for the
I've been
worse. I'm
meaning
just kidding.
I've been meaning to tell you I didn't want to say it in this fashion or format, but I I got another guy.
Good. Good for you. I'm happy for you. That's what your guys also can do for you. Like they can be happy for you and celebrate your wins. So I'm happy for you, dude.
Thanks, buddy.
You're welcome.
All right.
I
Well,
know you're lying. I love you.
I love you too. See ya.
See ya.